Well, hello. Hey, in my opinion, this Powermatic table saw does not need to be restored. And that's remarkable. It's made in 1965 or late 64. But take a look at this jewel. Yeah, that's the, I get back a little bit. Got junk piled up all over here. But that's the model before the Model 66. It's a Model 65. And this came out of the local Whitman College. They had this back in the drama department in their theater, you know, making props and stuff, but they mostly used other equipment. So this saw's had very little use, but they did replace it with the hot dog saw, the saw stop, which is probably a good thing for students and stuff. You know, this saw here has limited safety features. The blade guard I removed because it's always in the way, so you got to be careful with old equipment. But I tell you what, you know, this saw not needing anything is a little bit of an exception, but it's really nice to have a machine shop handy when you're dealing with antique saws and stuff like this, because there's no new parts, so anything that's missing you'll have to make or come up with. So anyway, I thought I'd show that. And here's another device I made in the machine shop here. This is a copy of a German woodworking device made by a company called Aigner, and it's mostly for use on shapers. And they didn't really sell this stuff over here. It's mostly sold in Europe, and it's for hand feeding wood through shaping machines. And what it is it's kind of like a vise, and here's the lock here. Now I copied this, you know, but it's my own jumbled up design. This is just an offset eccentric here that locks the wood in. So what I've cut with this is these lock miter joints, and it also cut in the face too. So I use that over in the shaper, and to cut this here, the device would be laying flat like that. See, but it's kind of an interesting device. You can also use it like to cut off wood like that you can't hit. You can't do stuff like that, just hold it against the fence, it'll bind. But you can do all kinds of operations on the table saw with this thing too. Just a handy little deal. And see, I can unlock it here, and then the wood will come out. Isn't that cool? And hey, I don't go, I try to stay out of junk stores, but I went into, I had to go over and look at some equipment over in Tri-Cities today, some machine tools. There's a mill I'm mildly interested in. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll talk about that later. It's, the brand is Excello, Model 602. It's kind of like a Bridgeport, but it's got another inch of quill travel, 6 inches. But it's got a bad spindle in it, and I don't know, we'll see what transpires there. Then I looked at a couple of really bad off ways. But I stopped at a junk store, a pawn shop, I think it's called Ed & Mo's in Kennewick, and found a Plomb tool company toolbox. Isn't this neat? Look at this. It's got a repair here. I think I can fix that, knock the dents out of it. See, it's got a couple handles here. Now watch this. Voila! Isn't that cool? And that'd be the original color here. Looks like it got a hole in it there. I'll grind that away and make that look better. I'll put some Bondo in it. But look at that, isn't that nice? I don't think I've ever seen a Plomb toolbox like this. At 14 bucks, who can complain? Now, over here, here's something that I built too. It's called router table, and that means you just put a router in a table, and you can buy these plates real cheap, but I gotta make my own stuff. Check out my router table plate, 1/2 inch thick steel. And that's just a plain old router in there. But you can use the fence and stuff, and I can use that device on this here like a shaper. This kind of pretty much replaces a shaper. But it's kind of cool to make your own stuff. Now this saw here is my Delta Rockwell 1214 tilting arbor saw, and this is an industrial saw. Both the Powermatic and this. The Powermatic's 2-horse 3-phase, and this one's 5-horse 3-phase. It's got a lot bigger table on it. It's 10 inches deeper, and it's got changeable arbors. Like the little 10-inch saw there uses a 5/8 arbor, and they never, Delta never made a 5/8 interchangeable arbor, but I did. I made this on the Monarch 10EE in one set, and it runs absolutely true. And they did make, I think arbors up to 1.125" or 1.25", but this is a 1-inch dado arbor. And I whipped that out on the Monarch 10EE, and I made one for another guy, and he really insisted I make it, and I charged him $200, and he's glad to pay. Now this material here is some really good quality pre-hard, and it shines up nice. That's a stub Acme thread, kind of peculiar to the saw here, left-hand thread. Yeah, it's just kind of nice to make stuff, and I'm working on some cabinets here, and I'm just trying to spruce them up. And here's one of the cabinet doors here, and I put they're plain, and it's in an old kitchen here, and we just kind of want to fix it up. So I put a border of this Western maple on here. We're going to stain this thing down and just kind of give the cupboards a bit of a facelift. That'll be kind of nice. So this machine here is really, I got it just too cluttered up, but this is my shaper machine, and it's actually a little bit different than regular pattern shapers. It's got full-time overhead support and this really long 1.25" arbor. It's this machine came out of Boeing. It's a real special. As far as I know, there's only 2 in the United States. It's a Shoda spindle molder made in Japan, probably 1960s, I would guess. But this is a lot of fun. Well, anyway, this is what I've been kind of busy with, is setting up this trim and stuff. Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Now, here's something you don't see every day. This here, let me move this thing. Is Snakewood. And this is a magnificent piece of Snakewood too. Look at that. Okay, I'll flip it over. See that? And it's not even finished. This is actually not a tree, it's a vine. And you know, a piece of snakewood that big is very rare. And I don't know, got kind of a story on this. Maybe we'll talk about it sometime. But this is something that would make an awful lot of revolver grips, stuff like that. This wood here is, I think it's heavier than aluminum. It's really heavy. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd load this and show off my Model 65 Powermatic table saw that does not need restoration. Okay, I'll be back real soon. I'm going to head out into the machine shop. I've just been delayed with this woodwork, and I've got all kinds of things to do out there, and I'm going to get it all done this weekend, I think. Okay, bye-bye.